Alright, hello everyone. Let's see if we can get this going. There we go. And I think we're on. Hello and welcome everyone. Today, maybe a bit high music. See if we can turn that down again. That's probably better. So please let me know if you can hear me and if the music is too loud or too low. And also have an echo. Let's get rid of that one. It's awfully silent. Alright, well, we'll try and see what happens. So we're back at the Tesla PowerShell module. This is my spare time project, and my long-term goal is to be able to automate my car. I have this tiny little computer here. Let's see if I'm not sure if you can see it, but here is ESP32. It's basically a small computer with a Wi-Fi and a Bluetooth chipset. Oops. I'm hoping one day to have an orchestration function in the cloud, in Azure, with a bunch of PowerShell code that I can call on by pushing on a button connected to my super mini computer. That's the long-term goal. And then maybe I can have more buttons and I can, press different buttons for different orchestration functions. My first goal is to be able to prepare my car for takeoff. So when I wake up or when I want to go to work or go somewhere, instead of like opening up the app, waiting for the app to start and waiting for the car to wake up, and then like turning on all the defrost functions, and then something happens and I get delayed for maybe 15-20 minutes and the car is draining a lot of battery. I just want to orchestrate it so that the car will like something will wake up the car, check the temperature outside. If it's too cold, it will defrost the car. If it's just a little bit cold, it will just heat it up to comfy temperature. And once it has a good temperature and windows are probably clean from ice, then it should like unlock the charge port and like prepare everything for me leaving, and then just keep it that way. And if I don't arrive within like 20 minutes or 30 minutes or something, just lock everything and turn it off again, because there have been situations where I have started the defrost and just left it going for an hour because I was interrupted, I got a phone call or something, and when I got back out I lost a lot of battery. So that's the long-term goal, just having like a button inside my outside, well, at the door. I can just press when I'm starting to prepare for leaving home. And so far we have implemented a module which we can use as a Tesla client. So basically this module makes everything the app does, or the goal is to have it make everything that the app does. So today we can do all these things on the left here. It might be a little bit small for those of you watching on a phone, but here's the list of commands. And if I go to PowerShell, I can do load my module and do import Tesla context. This will basically just import my account and sign in. And then I can do get vehicle, get Tesla vehicle even, and that will get the information of my car. And I also have the car here on my phone app. Let's see if we can find that one. Oh, it's locked. Let's unlock my phone. Open the app. So here is the app on my phone. And then I could, for instance, do open Tesla charge port. And if you look really closely, it says true in my console, and the little charge port open in the picture of the car, and it says charge port open, so I can close the charge port again. So as you can see, I can use my PowerShell module and my mobile app interchangeably, and that's the goal. So today we have two functions left. We haven't implemented any media controls, and we haven't implemented any sharing controls. So I think these are the last ones we're going to do, and once we have these, we're going to focus on getting some orchestration done. So hopefully next week the module will be fairly done, and we can start working on some orchestration logic and building our API that we can call from a button or something in the end. So let's look at this. We need something to control the media. I'm not sure if I ever gonna need this, but yeah, it seems like it's there, so why not just implement it? It's a command, so what we do is going to VS Code, which should be here, and let's see, this one is toggle playback. So we should probably have like a start Tesla playback, or start Tesla music, start Tesla media. Start Tesla media. So let's just begin with the start Tesla Sentry mode as a template and do start Tesla media, and let's call this start Tesla media, start Tesla media playback. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Let's go with that. Playback. So we're going to need an ID, and if we don't get an ID, we're going to try to get it from the current configuration, which is just a variable I keep in memory. And if we still don't have one, we're gonna throw an error saying you need to select your vehicle. And then we have the fragment, which is the API vehicles ID / command / and this should be the part in the end, media toggle playback. There we go. And I think it had a parameter, so oh, it always toggles it, so it's not like an actual play or pause, it's just like a toggle. Funky. I wonder if we can get the current state in any way. So we have state commands. Drive state maybe? Probably not. Nope. Climate doesn't seem like it. Vehicle state. No, it's remote control. I think we have a get Tesla vehicle state. Let's try that one. Get Tesla vehicle state. So what do we get? This is mostly just like information of the media state. Says remote control enabled. That just means I am allowed to control it using the API. Nope. Okay, so we'll just have to be satisfied with the toggle command. So in PowerShell, all the commands as verb - noun, and there is a set, like a predetermined set of verbs that we are allowed to use. That's just like a convention in language. These are all the verbs that we are supposed to use. And I don't think there is a toggle verb. So I'm not sure what to call it, to be honest. We can do... Bummer. Is there a switch? So we could do like some of the invoke, enable. Oh, switch. Awesome, let's do that one. Specifies an action that alternates between two resources such as. That's exactly what we're looking for. So switch Tesla media playback, and we should probably call the file the same just to make sense. There we go, and we just do that, and I don't think we need a body at all. And let's look at the... I guess not. So let's just take that one off and don't do that. So this is a function I've written to make this a lot easier, because all of these commands basically do the same thing. So I just give it a fragment and it will add the Tesla IP address. I give it a method. I say if I want to be authored. If I want to be authored, it will take my API token or access token that is stored in memory. And if I want to wake up the car before I send a command, it'll do that. So yeah, I think we're good. And then we need to build a module. I think I need to be in this folder, and we can do build module. Oh, I didn't import the building module, so that didn't make any difference. Anyhow, now we should be able to do switch Tesla media playback. Okay, so it seems to work, but we need someone sitting in the car for this to work. All right. Makes sense, I guess. Probably means that we won't be able to run any of these, but let's just do it a quick way. So the same, next is media next track. I don't think we have like a skip or something. Oh, we do. Skip and step. I wonder if we have something. So step is good for next track. I wonder what we should use for previous. Redo, reset, resize, set, show, skip, split, step. Sometimes the hardest thing in writing a command is to finding out the name of it. Step, and is there like a revert, reset, remove? Reset, not really right. Or we can do like start next song, start previous song. Yeah, that'll do it. Just take this one, rename it, and call it Start Tesla Media Mix. Or we can do like set Tesla media track. Yeah, that works for me. So set Tesla media track, and we need a vehicle ID, and then we're going to have a parameter called next, and whoops, next, and we're going to have a parameter called previous. All right, and then we do something like this. So we say this is a parameter, and we're going to give it a set. So we do parameter set name. Next. And we do the same here. So we take that and move it down here. And we call this previous. While pick up kids from daycare, do start playing Bubblan on repeat. Yeah? That's not a bad idea. So these parameter set name or parameter sets, these are used to tell PowerShell that these two parameters cannot exist at the same time. So just to be a little bit picky, we should actually put this ID parameter in both sets. There is like a special set name called all parameter sets, but I never remember the exact spelling of that. So I'm lazy, and if I have a parameter that I want to be available in all sets, I just do like this. Then we need to give PowerShell a default parameter set name, because if I don't specify either next or previous, PowerShell won't know what to do. So we need to tell them what to do when in doubt. So that's we do by doing default parameter set name and say the default is next. Then we're gonna put a comment here. Any comment on the first line above a parameter definition will automatically be the help text for that parameter. So just do play next track. We do the same here. Play previous like that track maybe. Yeah, so this should do it, I think. And then we need vehicle ID, and then we do a switch statement. So we switch, and here we have a there's a brilliant blog post on parameter sets that I keep finding and reading it at least a month. Yeah, thank you, Björn. I really appreciate that. Now I almost have to show you, right? So I wrote a blog post a while ago on parameter set, probably. Oops, cookies. So here's the blog post Björn is talking about, and a while ago I tried to explain parameter sets. We had a long discussion on a conference somewhere, and I tried to break it down. So if you need to read more about it, here is it's me trying to explain it. Parameter sets are awesome. I use them all the time. So that's one of the really cool things with PowerShell, is that we have so much variable validation and stuff that we can just use. Like for here I say valid length, so the ID has to be between 11 and 200 characters long, and it needs to match this regular expression, which means it can only contain digits. And if it doesn't, it will say this is not a valid vehicle ID. So that's a really simple way to do it in very little code. and it gets quite easy for a user to understand. So all these parameter metadata, parameter sets, and validation is amazing. Oops, I almost forgot. We need to type on these parameters too. So we're gonna call this a switch parameter, and we are going to do a switch down here. Switch down here too. Then we're going to do a switch here. So a switch in PowerShell could be called like a case statement or whatever you call it in other programming languages. We basically check a variable, and depending on its value, we do different things. So we're going to switch over this PS cmd let. So a command let, cmd let, is basically a command in PowerShell. And this magic PS command let variable has a parameter set name property. So this will contain the parameter set that was chosen by the parameters that the user supplied. So we can switch over that and say if that parameter set name is next, then we do something. If it's previous, then we do something else. Let's do this. And if it's neither next nor previous, then we do this default thingy. And that probably shouldn't never happen. But just to make sure, I usually do like throw unexpected parameter set name or something, just to make sure that we stop there. If it's a next, we should do this media next track. So that means that we're going to take this fragment part, copy it, and move it up here. And that fragment part should be moved here somewhere. And then we take that one and put it in here. So if we use next, we use that, and then in other case we use the previous, which is this one. Whoops. There we go. And I think that's all. One thing to remember is that if I have a switch statement and more than one statement could be true, in this case it can't, because I'm switching over value and say if it's like this or if it's like this, and it can't both be next and previous. But we could have a expression in here, so we can say like $_ lesser than 5. Then we do something like return it's lesser than 5. And I need to escape that with an extra. And then we have another one like $_ is equal to 4. And we can say it's 4. So if we had an example like this, both of these two statements could be true. So if it is 4, it will be both less than 5 and equal to 4. And with a switch statement, there is this like fall through logic. So it will always try or evaluate all the possibilities before it's complete. So if we want to make sure that it doesn't, just like if it's less than 5, you just be done with it. We can give it a break down here, and then it will never be equal to 4 because we break when we hit less than 5. So sometimes, just to be a good citizen, I do this. just to make sure that we won't hit more than one. So we do a fragment. I don't think we needed a body. Nope. All right. I think that should do it. Set Tesla media track. If we want to test it, we can do it like this. Write verbose message. Changing to $piece commanded dot parameter set name track maybe. So write verbose will write a message to the verbose stream, which is by default not shown. So I can have this here without really annoying anyone or doing anything. But if someone adds the dash verbose on a command or turns verbose login on, then they will see this message. So let's try that. Clear the screen and do like the import module again. And then I already forgot what it was, the set Tesla media track. So if I just do dash verbose and nothing else, you can see that a lot of things went wrong. Vehicle unavailable. Didn't I do wake up? This should have woken up my car. Let's do resume Tesla vehicle. And that should make the car wake up, I hope. Get Tesla vehicle. Yep, now it's online. So let's try that again. Right. So still no user present, but it seems to work, and you can see that we wrote this message saying change to the next track. I also do like car scene recently, no need to wake up. Ah, yeah, so that's the problem. Funky. Maybe I should improve that logic while we're at it. So that's the media track, and that seems to be working. We have this invoke Tesla API. So that's a public function, so anyone can, if I haven't implemented something, anyone can call the invoke Tesla API from the module, just do whatever they want themselves. And here I have another of these switch parameters named wake up, and if that is if someone uses the switch parameter, then is present will be true. So if wake up is present or is specified, then it will check the date, the current date or the time right now, and then it will compare now and remove the or subtract the last seen value from our Tesla configuration, which is just a table we keep in memory. So every time we import the module, I will create a small table in memory and just keep track of some settings. And then we'll take the total minutes of between last time we talked to the car and now. And if that is greater than 8 minutes, because I did some testing, I woke up the car and then I asked the car if it was awake, or the API if it was awake, like once a minute, and if when it fell asleep I woke it up again and I tested, and I did that for like, I don't know, a few hours, and it took about 9 to 10 minutes for the car to fall asleep again. So that's why I set this last scene since it's greater than 8. It seems like the car is actually falling asleep faster nowadays, which is a good thing because it saves battery. But that also means that I do need to do a lot of wake-up calls. So I should probably reduce this a little bit. I don't know. Maybe say if there is more than 3 minutes, we should do something. So at first I thought that I would ask I wanted to do like the get Tesla vehicle every time I do a command. Then I realized that sometimes I fire off command in a quite rapid succession when I want to automate something. So then I have a script saying like do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. And if I were to do like a get vehicle in between every command, and I do like 10 commands, then that would be 20 calls to the API, and in the end I feel like that's not being like a good consumer, because we don't want to call the API more than necessary. But probably if it's been more than 3 minutes since we last talked to the car, we'll be fine checking again. But instead of actually waking up the car, I think I'm going to do a get Tesla vehicle and check the state, because as you can see, if I do get Tesla vehicle, I get a state which is either online or asleep. So let's do that. Vehicle equals get Tesla can't type. Yep. Tesla vehicle. And is there an ID? There's no ID. So we just have to assume there is an ID in the configuration. I'm not sure if I like that, but we'll have to live with that. If vehicle.state equals sleep, then we do all this. And then we should probably write the car is online message after the if statement, because if it's not asleep here, it's hopefully online. Okay, maybe we should do if. Yeah, I'm a little bit torn here. Maybe we could either do if the state is equal asleep, or we could do the state is not equal online. Today there is only asleep and online, but Tesla could be adding another option in the future. Did you misspell Tesla vehicle on there? I did. Yeah. Thank you, Emil. Vehicles that equals asleep. Yeah, so I could either check if it's not online or if it's asleep. Potentially they could add a third or fourth option, and I want to think about what happens with my code if that were to happen. So I actually think I only want to wake it up if it is asleep, and then I'll do like an else if dollar vehicle state equals online. So this should be cover every option. We can just write a message saying cars online. That's good. And else. So this would happen. Yeah, and now I feel that maybe this should be a switch statement instead. So let's go back to the switch again. This is how I am when I'm coding. I can never decide. But let's switch over vehicle state. And if that is asleep or it is online, like this, and then we have a default. So if it's anything else than asleep or online, we'll just throw an error message saying let's do double quotes unknown state $vehicle dot state. So using double quotes, you probably know it already. If you do that, you can use variable expansion. So you can write something, a variable inside a string, and it will replace the variable with its value. If you want to have an expression, then you can do a dollar and a parenthesis, and you can write whatever code in that parenthesis as you like, and whatever that code returns will be inserted into the string. So if it's asleep, we will do all this. So let's put that up here, and if it's online, we'll just do that, and we'll be doing breaks here just to be sure. And we should probably S walking up or something. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Hopefully it won't fall asleep faster than 3 minutes. And if we haven't done anything in like, I think we can actually do 2 minutes. So if we haven't talked to the car in 2 minutes, it'll probably be fine to just wake it up again. Or at least talk to the API and see if it's awake. Excuse me. And then in the end, when we're done and we have talked to the car, we update the last scene parameter to now. Cool. That should be working, I hope. So I'm guessing the car is asleep again. Get Tesla. And the nice thing about this get Tesla vehicle is that this command only talks to the Tesla API. It doesn't actually go to the car. So I can do this command to only get like basic vehicle information and an information if the car is awake or asleep. And then we can try whatever the other command was, set Tesla media track. I didn't reload a module. Sorry. So I think there, go. And let's try again and see what happens. Car seen recently, no need to wake up. I wonder. Oh yeah. So state shouldn't be exported. Alright, turbos. This is not a great way to debug stuff, but if I start a debugging session, it'll write my tokens all over the screen, so I'm trying to avoid that. Write verbose message, double quotes, and do car was last seen in actually I can do that down here instead. Let's skip that one and do it in this one. Car was last seen since minutes ago. Then we should be able to put this part. Not super beautiful, but for service purpose for now. And then we go back here, clear the screen, we do another import, and we do this. Alright, so 5/20/2021, that's today, 9/49/21 is now. But last seen since seems to be empty. Last seen since. It might be that it's less than a minute. So let's force it to be a number or an integer. Did I misspell it? Alright. So spelling things correctly actually helps when you code. If someone ever had doubts in that. Sorry for that. Let's import it again and do media track. Yeah. So car scene. We are in like a bad state here because each time I call this, it seems to update this value. And that is because, let's see, so we get here, we shouldn't ever get into this one, and this has the error action stop. So if that fails, it shouldn't update that one, and this fails. Let's do this because I'm lazy right now, and just re-import it and try this. Yeah, then we go into the wake up the car, and that just loops and waits for the car to wake up. And we're hoping that the car will wake up. It did wake up, and then it exits the loop, and it's called this one, and we get the user present back. Fine, I'm happy. Let's get this back to 2 again. Think that should work. Because this shouldn't do a successful call anywhere. Let's just make sure it doesn't. So if it's not expired and it's a bearer, it will just do this. Sure. Yeah, that should be fine. That's the wake up part. Let's see if we have more. So we have a media previous favorite, next favorite. Set media track next. Maybe we should do step instead. Get verb. What did we have? So we had step, switch. Can you do skip to previous, or do you do step to previous? I think we can do skip instead of skip, step. I don't know. What do you think? Should we keep the switch media playback? No, sorry. Should we keep the set media playback media track, or should we do step, or should we do, what was the last one? Skip. Let's do a comment up here. This verb could be skip, switch, I guess, step, or set. Anyone has any preference? I'll keep it at set until I can decide. Tesla Media Favor. Never decide if there should be a U in there or not. So Tesla Media Favorites. So this one should basically be exactly the same as the next and the previous. What I didn't show you with the switch parameters. Another thing you probably know is that if you do like set Tesla media track. So first cool thing is get command, and we can do dash syntax. And this shows us that we have two sets, and we can do it either with next or previous. And also if I do like set Tesla media track dash next, then dash previous won't be available. And if I do dash previous, then next won't be available. Awesome features of PowerShell. This should work exactly the same, although in here we should take the media next fab and media pre-fab. Fab. Favorite. Yep, that'll do. What's more? Previous favorite, media volume up, media volume down. So let's keep the set and just do set Tesla media volume. I don't think there are verbs for like increase and decrease. We have like add and remove, but that doesn't really make sense for me. Nope, we'll do a set media volume. So set media volume, this cannot be anything else. And we should call this up and down maybe? I don't know. Up, down. Turn volume up. Turn volume down. And we need to call this up. This one down. And what should be the default? Let's do up. There we go, and let's check this one. So media volume up and down. Media volume up and down. This should be up. This should be down. Changing to turning volume up or down. That should probably do it. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Yeah. And that gets me thinking. I think we forgot to do. So change that one. This one is the same. Change to next favorite video channel. There we go. Next previous. Yep. Think that is good enough. And that's all the media part. So now to next fun thing, sharing. So here I can either send a Google map or a video. So I guess that could be like a YouTube or something. I think I'm going to focus on purely locations. It could be cool to automate, like doing turn on charging, turn on a video, whatever, but yeah, it feels a little bit far-fetched. So let's focus on navigation requests. Yeah. So command share, and we right. Set Tesla navigation should probably do it. Navigation targets. Navigation destination. Navigation. Set navigation. That's good enough. There we go. Take away that one. Still need ID. Don't think we need that one. If we do, we'll add it on later. We can remove that part. Well, actually, this whole thing. We still need an ID. We will not switch. We remove that one. We'll set the fragment to something. Which should be API1 vehicles ID command share. We probably need a body. The app sends the data in JSON form, however, your encoded posts body will work as well. This form request like this. Alright. So let's do body, give it a hash table, and just copy this thing. And that one, that one, that one, and that one, and that one should be equal signs. We don't need any commas. That's also a comma, and that should be an @ sign. So that's PowerShell dictionaries or hash tables. Type share X content raw. That should probably be hard coded, so we don't need to care about that. The value should be something here. The address or video URL set as the navigation destination. So am I supposed to send a timestamp in? Cool. Locally for navigation requests. We're just gonna leave that at US for now, cause that's the low key of my car anyway. That should be hard coded. Low key can be hard coded for now. Let's move that up here. The value here should be something. Destination. And then we need timestamp. Timestamp equals. So I have a timestamp. And I do that in local time. So I basically need to revert this. What's in here? So, whoops. This returns the timestamp of 0, which is the Unix epoch time. I basically need to take the time now and subtract Unix epoch time and just do like total seconds, I think it is, right? That doesn't have a now. Quite sure I used that somewhere. Ah, it's a property and not a method. Now it's not equal to offset. Yeah. So I wonder if I do like get Tesla vehicle, I think I get the timestamp in here. I didn't. Get Tesla climate state. Oh yeah. Offset has a now, but I'm not sure if I'm going to use like offset now or offset now dot local time or to local time or whatever that's called. See, so here is a timestamp. Let's do that was the timestamp we got. 162.00677. So this should be right now, and that should be right now a while ago. That didn't work at all. What did I do wrong? There's not the same amount of numbers in here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, and this is not 13. What is not 13? Too tired to count. That's 10. So I'm at the wrong resolution, and I'm doing total seconds. And what am I doing in this? I add seconds. Oops. Am I that wrong? So what if I take the timestamp I got from Tesla? That one, and just pipe it to convert from timestamp. That should give me a date. Lovely. So this should probably not be seconds, or they have changed it, because this worked like half a year ago. So that should probably be milliseconds then, right? Add milliseconds. Let's try that. And that gives us a date time of 10:10 p.m. local time. Sounds reasonable. And then we need this thingy, but we need total milliseconds. Though. There we go. So if we take that and just do convert from timestamp. Yeah. That seems to be reasonable. So let's do that and go back, save this one and timestamp here. So we subtract that, and we can't do like this because that's ugly. So we'll just do pipe, select object, expand property, total milliseconds. Trust but verify. Yeah, and that should also be rounded. So I wonder if we could do like, what is the maximum of an integer? Not big enough. So what's the maximum of an upper integer? Long. Long is good. Do we have a long? Thank you, Mr. Epix. Oh, that's the manual, right? Of course, you knew it. So, what if we do this? Whatever. Ah, it's an alias for int64. Thank you. So we need a log. I've never used. Yep. We can leave with that. $timestamp. Oh, it even says milliseconds here. It's me not reading. This should already be a string, so we don't need any extra quotes there. Producer Wolf, hello and welcome. We should add a body here. I'm also security research. Cool. Invokes a sleepy fragment method posts. So that should probably do it. And then we need a string called destination. Yeah, no, I'm actually not a security researcher. I'm just some random dude that likes to code PowerShell and automate the Tesla. I'm not really hacking them. I'm just trying to build an API client in PowerShell, and it's not really. So there are a lot of implementations in a lot of languages. I just want to show that PowerShell is a PowerShell is a powerful and competent language, and yeah, show people how to write a module and do cool stuff. Destination to share, whatever. So what was your opinion on that RC and drone hacking to test? I actually haven't read up too much of it, so I haven't yeah, I don't have an opinion on it. Maybe I should, but yeah, Mr. Epix is totally right. You should love PowerShell. That's awesome. See where we are. So hopefully this kinda should maybe work. Anyone have an address to suggest? So we need to re-import the module and remember the name of the command. So test the navigation. Destination should be, let's navigate to Stockholm and see what happens. It's been, yeah. Result true, queued false. So I guess that's good. I don't know. I'll just see if it says something in the app. It doesn't. Yeah, with PowerShell you can spin up 200 or more virtual machines with a button and using the state configuration to configure them using your Excel sheet. That's absolutely possible and a good way to do it. So I totally agree. So nothing really happened here. It says it's parked and it's disconnected. Yeah, checking it's not turned on. The location, that just shows my current address and or ish where my car is. And it didn't show any targets, so I don't really know if there is a way to determine. No, doesn't seem to be. And I'm not going to run out to the car and check what it's set to right now. So let's just assume it worked, shall we? At least didn't give us an error message. I see Tesla also follows the API standards of returning clear and informative responses. Yes, you're right, Mr. FX. It's very clear and informative. Or not. But at least when something goes wrong, it usually returns a non-successful HTTP code. Sometimes. Also, this is highly not documented, so it's like, yeah, you get what you get. It didn't throw or show us like a lot of errors, so I'm happy. Which is the advantage and disadvantage for security reasons? It's not great. Standardization makes it easier to hack. Yeah. I like well-behaving, well-documented, well-standardized APIs that work like you are, like you expect them to do. And if you want security, that shouldn't be like you shouldn't achieve security by doing some obscure API design. You should have security by using like a good API, like a good authentication mechanisms and good like regular security implementations, not by obscuring the way you call the API or use the API, because in the end someone is going to put up a proxy between their phone and the API and just record whatever their phone is doing, and then they will like get all the information. So yeah, I'll just let that slide. I'm sure you're an awesome security researcher, Wolf. Yeah, no, I don't doubt that at all. But yeah, I still think that having an understandable API is like there are more good things coming out of that than bad. See if we can get the white space trim thingy going here. That's better. Yeah, so I actually think that is, if that works, I think we're fairly happy. It would be cool to implement some software updates while we're at it. What time is it? It's 10:26. We could probably do one more. So this is actually quite a good command, because I have a pending software update, so but we can only do like schedule and cancel. So this probably only works when you have your update already downloaded. As you can see in my app, which is over here, I have a software update, but it's not downloaded. I don't have Wi-Fi at my parking lot, so I have to drive the car to somewhere. And with the current situation, pandemic and all, I'm not driving my car that much, to be honest. And especially not to any place that has Wi-Fi, sadly. So I'll just have to wait for another day or so. It would be cool if I could like trigger the download somehow, but yeah. So this probably won't work, but let's try it anyway. So let's do a last one for the night. It should be start Tesla update. Excuse me. So start Tesla update. We need an ID and we need a offset seconds. I'm gonna call it minutes. And I'm gonna default that to 10. Let's do this, and that's an integer. That was bad command copy. Let's get something down here. So we need an ID. If we don't have an ID, we should throw, and then we need a fragment equals. That needs to be double quoted, and we need this part, and we're going to do $ID. So that's the schedule software update, and we need a body. Whoops. And the body should have an offset sex. That sounded weird. And this should basically be $minutes times 60, right? We send a fragment, we do a post, we need to supply the body, and we body, authenticate, and wake up. I think that should be it. Number of minutes before the thing starts. Use 0 for immediate install. Immediate install. All right, and yeah. see what happens. So import the module, start Tesla update, minutes 20. Didn't we fix that? Get Tesla vehicle. It's asleep. This is annoying. So we probably need to reduce this to like 1 minute. I don't want to call the API more often than that. And let's just resume. Yeah, usually it doesn't fall asleep in like 10 minutes, but recently it has started to fall asleep really fast. Yep, now it's online again. Then we can do the start updates. That seems to be working. Ish. Good enough. And then we should be able to do... Is there a verb for like abort? They just want to raise... Yeah, that's probably the case. Actually, I think it's battery saving. So when I wake up the car, it starts up the infotainment system, which also starts up like the whatever 3G modem or whatever, it's GSM modem or something, and that takes a fair amount of energy. Not just the startup, but the whole like computer draws some energy. So and that all accumulates. So if I wake up the car a lot, we will get what people refer to as phantom drain. Basically, your battery getting drained while your car is just standing there being parked. And when I got the car, like almost 2 years ago, the phantom drain was like an actual thing. If I turn everything off in the car, like I turn off the alarm and I turn off sentry mode and I turn off like basically everything that could drain the battery, I still lost like, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2% for every 24 hours. Which could be a problem, because if I like lock the car into a garage and go for a vacation, in like 2 weeks or so, there's risk my battery will be empty if it wasn't full when I left it. So yeah, that was kind of bad. And now that actually improved a lot. So, well, if I have sentry mode on, it wakes up every time someone moves or walks past the car, which happens like very often where I lived. So yeah, that obviously drains a lot of battery. But if I turn that off, then the battery will actually stay fairly the same for like a few days. And I assume the whole like put the car to sleep fairly quick is all about saving battery time or saving battery. And I also think if it's plugged in, it won't fall asleep as fast. So we had, yeah, verbs. Get verb. Maybe suspend is good. Start. Suspend, unregister. Yeah, let's do suspend update. So suspend Tesla updates. There we go. Suspend Tesla update. Eventually it's gonna be cheaper to hire someone to walk by the car every Yeah. I don't think so. Azure automation is fairly cheap. We probably don't need any parameters to that one, so no. It's the vehicle ID. The fragment should be cancel software update. Makes sense, like that. You don't need a body, and the body is not needed here. That should be all. Let's try it. Suspend Tesla update. It's asleep. Resume. Yeah, maybe I should hire someone. Oh, I didn't wait on it, that's why. So let's resume, or just get. Let's see if it's, yeah, now it's online. No update scheduled. Makes sense. I think we're good. Yes, what happened before is that every time I do like resume Tesla vehicle, I should do like dash wait, and then it will actually loop until it's online. And by that, I think we are happy. Nothing really cool here so far, and I'm not in the mood to figure out any new endpoints. So yeah, I think I'm happy by that. I'll probably have a short stream later in the week, whenever I have time, to fix up a little bit, and hopefully I can release the module soon. And then maybe next Monday at 9 p.m. Central European time at least, we could start actually orchestrating this. So my first orchestration will be trying to schedule launch, takeoff, leave time, whatever, and make sure I have the right temperature. And if you have any cool ideas of what you would like to do with your Tesla, like what you want to schedule, or if you want to trigger something, please let me know and we can do it together. That would be cool. So by that, I'm saying thank you very much for tonight. I hope I'll see you back here next Monday. Take care. Thank you, Stefan. That was a lot of fun. Bye bye.